Today we're going to compare the cameras on the Galaxy S24 Ultra versus the Oppo Find X8 Pro. So these are the two phones I wanted to compare just because of the max zoom range. And I know at that point it doesn't look good, but actually on the Oppo Find X it is a lot better because of that AI imaging. And I know it's not meant for taking great photos, but if you want to zoom in to see like a sign or something, just to read what it says, the Oppo will actually do a really good job at it. So if you're using this as a tool, then I would say this is a lot more useful on the Oppo. And shooting with the back cameras with the ultra wide, wide, and telephoto, which is 6x on the Oppo and 5x on the Galaxy, they all look pretty good and they are just a little bit different from each other. So from what I'm seeing in the shadows, the Oppo seems to be a bit more lifted, therefore you can kind of see more in the shadows, more in the darker spots, therefore giving you more of an exposed overall image. On the Galaxy it's more contrastier and it does lean more towards the bluish tint in the shadows. So for the overall colors in general throughout the whole comparison video, I found out the Oppo is much warmer. And some people might like that look, and I know I prefer more of that in terms of the skin tone. Now for portrait mode, I noticed that the Oppo does seem to lift a lot on the face. So sometimes it can be, or it looks like it's overexposed, or you can just see more brighter spots. And I think the casual consumers would probably lean towards this just because they want to see themselves, especially if they are behind the sun, and that's really difficult for phones in general to not get a silhouette of yourself. But in terms of what looks more natural, I would lean towards the Galaxy. Now even shooting indoors where there's more tungsten lighting, you can tell that it's still a lot more warmer on the Oppo. And you can easily tell by looking at the bowl here that is pretty much white on the Galaxy, whereas on the Oppo it's slightly orange. So for this picture of the ramen, I feel like everything is pretty close to each other except for the color green, and that's pretty much what saved it. And on the Galaxy, it seems like the colors are pretty separated pretty well. And even indoors, the Oppo still have that brighter image. Now moving on to low light, I feel like the Galaxy handles a lot better in terms of the highlights in the ultra wide. For the wide camera, I feel like they're pretty even except for the brightness, where the Oppo again still is a bit brighter, and you can kind of tell especially looking at the darker areas. You can see here the highlights are pretty much blown out and you can't see what's inside the stores on Oppo, but you can tell on the Galaxy. On the wide, the Oppo seems to have a little bit of an edge, but moving to the telephoto, it's obvious that the Oppo does a better job at showing the brighter picture. And then just to try out the max zoom, where the Oppo does a lot better. Now moving on to video, for the ultra wide, again the Oppo is brighter in terms of the midtones, but I feel like for stabilization the Galaxy is a lot smoother. On the Oppo you can kind of see the hard steps I'm taking. For the wide camera I would say it's still pretty much the same thing. The stabilization is slightly still better, but the ground is kind of dark on the Galaxy. And then moving on to the telephoto, I'm leaning towards the quality on the Oppo, but it is slightly green, whereas on Galaxy is closer to blue. Now moving on to low light, it's pretty harsh on both cameras. They're not that great. I feel like they're pretty even, it's just the color is slightly different. It might be a little bit more noisy on the Galaxy, but regardless, I really wouldn't want to shoot video in ultra wide in the darkness. For the wide camera, it seems like on the Galaxy it did a lot better job responding to exposing for the picture or the brightness as I walked into the truck. On the Oppo is a bit slower in terms of changing exposure, but it didn't really dip that much, so it kind of kept the even playing field for the most part. And for the telephoto, the Oppo is a bit brighter and I think it's just slightly cleaner as well. So that is a comparison, and let me know what you guys think. I really enjoy taking pictures on the Oppo beyond 60X just to see the AI imaging take in effect. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.